We knew that Kato's upstairs old bedroom had a shady window. We can sneak in there, and we had sex up there, and then got caught, and then she had to walk bare naked back to my place and left her clothes there. Oh well, yeah. Then I even told her she was fat. She lost weight. I called her the cunt word. Then I called her cunt. She's like, oh my God, I can't believe you called me that. And then just kept on as if like, I don't know if in her head we were like legit dating or what, but it was kind of creepy and kind of messed up. It got to the point where I pretended to date her for like a week only to fake break up with her. And instead of breaking up with me, she flat out just said, we need to talk. And I'm like, no. It's gone too far. So I grabbed whatever remaining stuff she had at my place. I think it was just like one t-shirt or something, and called my good friend Aaron, one of my BBs, and she didn't know there was a code to get into our apartment, and she didn't know the code, so I stuck a note on the door, and Aaron came by and pretended to be running by as she saw the note, and she was on the way to talk to me, and basically broke up with her on my behalf. I know, cowardly way out, but I mean, it's just, how do you not get the hint? And Aaron still holds that over my head until this day. And I believe, okay, first off, this is like when I throw trash out the window. I'm creating a public service, okay? People, and especially inmates or people who are on probation or have to do community service, have to pick up trash off the streets as part of their community service. Well, guess what? If there's no trash, there's nothing to pick up now, is there? Same thing here. If it weren't for me, she would have never gone to law school, grad school, actually. She legit was she was contemplating staying in Columbus to be part of my team and not go to grad school just to be with me. Which, no. I mean, that's just ridiculous. She moved to Cincy, went to grad school, almost got married. No idea why that didn't fall through, why that fell through. I have no idea what the hell happened there. That's beyond me. Like, she was engaged, and next thing I know, they're not getting married. But that's no here nor there. Let me see. What else can what other stories do I have here? Well, let's see. I had a fuck buddy situation with a hairstylist that went wrong, because I don't understand how, if you are supposedly you have kids, so she had kids. She was very attractive, nice body. If you want to fool around with me and I'm not seeing someone and you want to be part of my schedule and then cheat on your boyfriend because you're apparently not having sex and you have 2 kids, I mean, you would expect somebody who proposes this kind of contract, and I drafted a contract and made this legit. You would expect, upon signing this, that you had crossed you cross your T's and dot your I's. Like, just done your homework, basically. Oh no. First time, got caught. I don't understand how you get caught. It happened. Guy apparently was in the military, tried to beat my ass, claimed he worked at Outback Steakhouse across the street from where I currently work, and claimed he knew where I lived because he was in the military and was going to come kick my ass. Well, that never happened now, did it? I am still standing here, and his dumbass has a cheating girlfriend. I don't even know if they're married right now, or if she still works where she worked, but I had to move on. I had to find a new hairstylist. Just keep it going. On a side note, traffic heading downtown between 5 and 6 in Dublin sucks balls. On my way to practice as I'm taping this podcast. But, good thing I have a good half hour before I actually get there, and traffic permitting. Weather seems to be nice. Let me see other stories I can come up with or think of that has happened to me, crazy ex stories. Well, I dated this girl, Gina, again, breaking the platinum rule. We used to work together. I lost weight, the majority of my weight, because I used to be a good 260, 265 pounds, and over the course of like 6 months, lost like 80 pounds. Now I've probably gained maybe 20 or 30 back from the initial 80, but lost about 80 pounds. And she came up to me and was like, hey, let's go out. I'm like, sure, why not? went out. She had 2 kids. I'm like, all right, whatever. Didn't think it was going to last. Lasted actually 7 months. Third longest relationship I've had. And I'm trying to think of craziness. She was a very angry person. She was the only person I went out with that legit wanted to always have sex. Like, literally, I think the most I've ever had sex in one night with her was like 6 to 10 times. I can't remember exactly. And this was after a night of drinking, and I usually don't go more than 2. But that was a crazy time. Did end up cheating on me. Don't understand how. Claimed that when we broke up, well, we actually moved in together. That's why I ended up with my 2-bedroom apartment on France Road. Claimed that she could not date somebody who was better than her. And now she is married, has a 3rd kid with some illegal Mexican guy. Well, I mean, the shoe fits, I guess. La batea para the marrano, as my mom likes to say. Basically, that translates as like the pig, and the pig likes the pig food. So that's how that comes about, basically. One they go hand in hand. One GNU searches another GNU, so to speak. I think the craziest story we had there was my, I think it was my 20th birthday. At that point, I was still taking shots, 1 shot per year. And I think I got up to 33. That was the worst hangover of my life. Lasted about 2-3 days. And during that time, or during that outing, we got kicked out of the bar. I think Charlie Bear back then, downtown. Well, not downtown, OSU area, 11th and High. I think Cato slapped me for a slap bet, and I got pissed, and we started brawling, and shit hit the fan or something, and we had to leave. And upon leaving, she ended up kicking Gina, my ex at the time, kicking the bouncer right in the nuts. And that led to basically the cops almost arresting her. Luckily, my friend Money Mike and Cato broke it up and got us out of there. She wanted to go back inside to get her purse. And I think she actually did get banned, or she was on probation from a previous incident at, that Ugly Tuna area, and she violated that and had to go to court, get a fine or something. She was very pissed. I basically passed out, and then I vaguely remember waking up on the floor and crawling to my bathroom and puking while she was yelling at me. I don't even know. I'm not sure. It's all very blurry. Would have to double check with Cato and Money Mike and maybe invite them on a future episode of MexiMindMatters, just to relive good times, because it's all very hazy at this point. But that's the one time I can remember a crazy ex story with Gina. There was a scenario where her ex threatened me, and whatever, the cops were called. Vaguely remember that. And with Helen, I was actually with Helen. A crazy ex story, mind you. So Helen liked to go through my shit quite a bit. Constantly, I would let her borrow my laptop to do homework. Well, not homework, but like to apply for jobs and do stuff. And she would always go through my emails, check my Facebook. Proceeded to email Gina as if like the stories I had told her were lies. And went through my stuff and went through some old emails I had and was asking questions, and nothing that I lied about, but. Because of that, Gina on Facebook asked me if I knew a Helen Smith, and I'm like, pretended, not to know what she was talking about, and she claimed it was somebody we used to work with, and I called her stupid. I'm like, are you serious? Like, nobody named Helen Smith used to work with us, and I mean, I would know of the two of us. The smarter one is right here. IQ level higher with the person that speaks 6 languages. Seriously. So I told her no, she didn't know what she was talking about. She swore Helen Smith worked at NCO, where we used to work together, and I'm like, no, and then I called her a slut and blocked her. So then later on that night, we're going to get some Dairy Queens, and unknown number calls, and I happened to pick it up, just to, maybe it was a, collector or some random number, wrong number, and no, it was her. Gina calling me, yelling at me for calling her a slut, like, don't be mad about me, don't be a child. I'm like, seriously? I'm the child? The guy who has always been loyal to everybody? No. I mean, the only cheating I've ever been, guilty of, technically, is switching from the Vikings to the New York Giants. But that's one time, and it's loyalty, the only loyalty I've ever broken. Helen did accuse me quite a few times of cheating on her, but never. Like, it was always me talking to the BBs, me talking to friends, Sherry, other people I actually know. Like, I'm a personable guy. I have a lot of female friends, and I have a lot of friends in general. And if I'm talking to someone on my phone, it's somebody I legit talk to occasionally. Nothing to be concerned with, especially if we're dating for a long time. Like, I have no reason to cheat. But no, always accused me of doing stuff like, and then the iPhone apparently, like, if you're updating new software, if you have apps on the cloud, it'll re-download them or something like that. And so I think one time Tinder got downloaded on my phone and I didn't realize it. And she was like, "Oh, what's this?" Like, well, I mean, Tinder, it's not like I use it. And I went on there. I was like, oh, but you're talking to these people. Those are old messages and those are fake accounts. Just, making sure that fakeness is fakeness. Oh, I can't believe you're doing that. Why would you do that? I'm like, and then found out later that she herself had Tinder still up and actually messaging and handing out her number. Also hanging out her number to random patients that she would go interpret for under the excuse that she would be trying to practice her Spanish. That was bullshit. Not even sure. And to be quite honest, I mean, knowing how she is sexually, like, she's not that great in bed. Like, other than the missionary position, you pretty much just lay there. And very easy to turn her on, very easy to please her. I'm guessing all the excess masturbation helps accomplish that. So, I mean, nothing crazy. It's not like we did crazy positions. She was kind of a freak. Sometimes she would ask me to choke her, slap her, bend her over. No heads in the toilet, mind you. Although we joked about that a few times. But yeah, and basically if you spoke a different language or had an accent, she would like, oh my God, you look so nice. And, yeah, always looking around, basically shopping around. I should have, seen it coming. I did, but, I turned the other cheek, pretending stuff was what it wasn't. And kind of, I mean, I don't have proof, but I'm pretty sure maybe she cheated. I mean, sleeping at her ex on the couch. Yeah, that's I find that very hard to believe, especially me in Kentucky with no proof. Yeah. And she would always claim that when I would show like stuff I would doing on the phone, like, hey, this is who I'm texting. I once printed a list of every contact on my phone and be like, hey, this is who is on my phone who I potentially could talk to. And yeah, she was like, oh, but you delete messages. You're very sneaky. I'm like, I don't delete always my messages if they're old. I mean, there's no point in keeping like, a laundry list of texts there. But then I would catch her doing the same thing, like deleting messages right in front of me before. Like, she was the first person in the relationship to grab the other's phone and just go through it. She would always delete her Facebook messages, always delete her texts, and right before handing me the phone, I'm like, if you've got nothing to hide, then why are you deleting shit? Accusing me of deleting when I'm not, and of cheating when I'm not, but, pretty hypocritical if you ask me. But yeah, crazy ex stories. Let's see, let's keep it going here, see what else we got. Oh yes, oh my God. I'm actually pretty sure nobody knows this story. I can't remember her name though. This chick I dated for like 2 months, and only because I wanted to break her record. She kept saying that the longest relationship she'd been in was 2 months, and I'm like, I want to break that record. And I couldn't understand why. Like, why 2 months? And it finally hit me, like, the longer the relationship went, the more annoying she got. And the only person, I had some conversation with some teammates about people crying during sex or after sex, and I'm like, I never had a person do that, but now that I'm thinking about it, I'm pretty sure at one point she did cry right after sex. I'm not entirely sure if I remember why. But on the situation I want to tell you about is, and again, shameless. Mexican prides himself in being shameless. Like that, I like the show Shameless because I can relate to some of the things that happen. I have no shame. Where there's a shame organ, there's another organ of awesomeness. True story.
because I've done some shit. Give two craps if you think it's